PogChamps 3 is brought to you by Grip 6. Grip 6 is an American manufacturing company dedicated to making the very best belts, wallets, and wool socks. Grip 6, built to wear, not to wear out. Visit grip6.com/PogChamps.
Wow, well, Benji needs all the support he can get because Sardoche's rating is 1450. What have they been feeding this guy?
Ugh, I don't know. I'm nervous, but I really hope for Benji. Oh, apparently he's a jungler. This is so awkward.
Oh,
Never mind. I take back everything I said.
A lot of awkward moments here. Just gonna. I feel like it gets less awkward if you just make it public, right?
I just
about it.
Put candy in my mouth. It was like a weird distraction.
Yes. Black has the pawn chain towards the center. White develops the bishop to d3. So often when the bishop develops, now is the time that black takes because you don't get to recapture in one move. But the players are leaving the tension. It's a sign that they've been improving, that they've been studying, because I think when you're less experienced, you take as quickly as possible when given the opportunity.
I agree. Would it be, what would you do next here?
Well, the thing is, not a single piece has been traded. So that's, I would say, the struggle right now is what to do because nothing's been traded. And Benji plays b3 to protect his pawn c4 with another pawn. And, well, Sardoche says, I'm going to play h6. And they're actually playing a really high-level game to this point. Taking on f6 would unnecessarily give up the bishop pair, whereas this knight's not really going anywhere. It can move, but then you're willing to trade the bishops, and this knight has nowhere good to move. So by not trading QD, they're leaving this tension and creating difficulties for their opponent. So it's just not restricting their opponent's chances to play something active.
Perhaps a trade here, right? Because the bishop, that's his option. He could take, or he could just ignore it.
So he does take
Okay, there we go.
We have a trade. They are recognizing that pieces can come off the board. Don't need to keep them all. And
proud of this development.
One of the big things here, Cutie, is this pawn structure for white is really strong. And when you have a pawn chain, the pawn chain is only as strong as the base of its chain. So the f2 pawn is very safe. So what black wants to do in the near future is play e5 to start chiseling at the pawn chain, to create the base closer to black's pieces and make it easier to attack it.
Yeah, that's what I always do too.
I know you do. You're a stonewall player, so you know about pawn chains. F5, you saw the engine drop, and the reason why is this pawn on e5 lost its defender. So chess often is about timing, and now that black took, this pawn e5 is going to be one that can quickly get under attack. So rook takes f5 here, will defend the pawn temporarily, but then his bishop can slide back to c8, attack the rook, and become useful for a change. You're right, though. Bishop back was better. The rook on a7 would have protected, but look at this. This pawn was under attack, but now it's pinned. And if Benji sees it, bishop takes g6, steals a pawn, and can't be captured back. Did you see Benji? He kind of threw himself back in his chair. I think he sees it.
Fingers crossed.
Okay. He's got his hand up. He feels ready to play his move. He's down under 3 minutes. Sardoche ahead on the clock, but that was a big swing if Benji takes that pawn. He does. He takes it.
Nice. Okay. I am getting nervous for Benji's time a little bit.
I am as well. And I think he's trying to figure out because this bishop is hitting the queen and the rook on the same diagonal. That's a problem for him. He needs to see that his bishop can just retreat back, which saves the material and still leaves black's king out in the open. He's spending too much time, and I don't think he sees it based on the time consumption.
No, I don't think he sees it either. That's the hardest thing, and this is going to be very stupid, and you guys are going to be like, yeah, forehead cutie. To remember is that your bishops can move back. And he sacrificed the rook.
I actually don't think it's stupid at all. I think that's a mistake that is very commonly made. One of the hardest things to find in chess is retreating knight moves. And retreating moves in general are easily missed all the time. And now the problem for Benji is he lost a rook for a bishop. He still has attacking chances, but the rook for bishop dynamic should be good for Sardoche if he can handle this well. But there's still pressure, and I don't think that Sardoche is out of the woods yet.
I think he's pretty safe to start playing. Oh,
Oh, he did it. No, my gosh, he did it.
You called it.
He's being checkmated by force.
Come on.
Oh.
Does he see it?
I thought it was my analysis board for a second, and then I looked, and no, the engine Scott. He does see it.
There he sees it.
Oh gosh. Oh no, Queen F6. It's all forced. It's all forced. It's mate. It's checkmate on the spot. It's done. And look at Sardoche. He's distraught.
Look at Benji.
Oh my gosh, Sardoche is distraught.
C'est pas possible, j'ai tellement de choc.
He can't believe it.
J'ai pas de counterplay.
And he was fending it off
Oh
so
non, mais
well
pourquoi j'ai
until
pas
that
juste
moment.
défendu? J'ai pas vu que la dame pouvait full up. Fallait que j'aille en H7. C'était H7 la pièce, c'était pas H8.
Jubilation from Benji. I mean, he. How old is he again?
J'ai perdu.
I think 12. He plays Fortnite.
And let's see when the checkmate happens if we get a reaction. Look how happy he is.
There he is.
Oh my gosh.
But I'm gonna say I want Sardoche to win now.
Oh,
because he was sad, and I'm sad for him.
So you really are flip-flopping here.
Yeah, I feel bad when people. It hurts to lose in chess.
It does.
It hurts. It's not simple. It's not like League of Legends. You can blame your jungler. All you can do in chess when you lose is blame your coach, and it doesn't feel the same.
Whoa. Why the coaches got it? Well, I mean, yes, it's always the coach's fault, but why? I felt like a sort of attack in a way.
This is just, it's just hard. I don't know. It's just hard.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. And I don't think that the players, I think they really have been appreciative of all the coaching they've received. And Benji right now up 1-0. This is a London type of setup. The bishop drops back to G3 because if black takes on G3, the H pawn replaces the bishop. And there's, whoa, look at Benjyfishy just blitzing this out. He's been working on this very clearly. And look at Benji. He knows the plans. This is not someone memorizing an opening. This is somebody understanding because he brought his bishop back to E7. He didn't like the pin here. And now you have the bishop on D3. You have the bishop on H4. But lining up an attack is difficult because one of the best ways to stop an attack is by creating threats elsewhere on the board. And with this tension all over the place here in the center, white doesn't have a free hand on the king side. Wow, there's so much tension here. Cutie, you know what time it is?
No.
I thought there could be a stonewall situation with that pawn going F4.
That is not a stonewall. Do you even know the stonewall? That's not the stonewall. How dare you?
I asked you to teach me, but you're too busy teaching Pokey and Code Miko and everybody else.
That's not the stonewall.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
GMs these days, they don't even know all the freaking openings. That's crazy.
I'm sorry.
It's embarrassing for you, honestly.
Right. Uh-oh. When pieces are in line with a queen, you go and try to pin them. Oh, that was a rush decision. Still a good position for Sardoche, but go back a half step here. Rook to C1 or queen to C4. You pile up and you pin the piece and win the piece. So this would have been a great opportunity for Sardoche to level the match. Instead, he takes on C6. And his idea is that when the queen takes on C6, he will take on D4. White will still be a pawn ahead. So it's a good decision. It makes sense. But he had a move that would have netted more material.
He did move that really quickly.
Yes. And there are actually some devious threats here that black needs to be very careful about because I could see this ending in a checkmate pretty soon for white. Here it goes. After queen takes A2. If you take this, in comes the queen to D8 with check. And after king H7, there's knight E7 trying to bring the queen here and checkmate this king. And there's big danger for black. This could be very scary.
Okay.
Let's see. Wait, check. Okay, 97.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no. Watch out here. So the move that black should play is push your F pawn because Benji's queen is actually eyeing the G8 square through the pawn. So push that pawn up the board.
Oh, wow.
And you could save the day. You could save the day here. And look at Benji, deep in thought.
What a cool mate. I love any mates with a knight. I think they're very cool.
You really don't see this very often, but it's because black's pieces are all out over there on the queen side, not helping the king. And you're asking, when can you bring the king out? Not in this position. Even a queen and knight, that's enough material to land a checkmating attack. So this is very scary for Benji. He's thinking he needs to push the pawn. I think that there's no other way to save the king besides pushing the pawn up the board. You think
I hope he sees it. I don't I think he will, just because he's surprised me a few times, and he's desperately looking right now. And that he knows that there's got to be a way.
And he could be thinking about pushing the pawn up to make space for the king. The problem is the queen will stop on g8, then go to h8, and this king is going on a walk up the board and is actually checkmated in the next move after queen takes pawn. So let's show that very quickly. If h5, queen g8, up, keep check. It's force, checkmate. There's nothing that black can do, and that would be a checkmate. The king's let's see. No move yet. No move played by Benji.
Oh, he's got a minute. Come on, Benji.
Oh, and he's not streaming, so we can't see. Oh no. It's going to be the zigzag checkmate. It's going to be the checkmate. Here it comes. Sardoche sees it. No question. He's going to do this mate. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. He blundered the queen!
Oh, my gosh!
Oh, my gosh, he blundered the queen!
Does Benji see it? Benji, do you see this? Oh, he has to see it. Look at Benji's face. He's in shock.
Oh, he took the queen, and Sardoche loses the queen.
Benji is so confused.
He's smiling.
Oh, Sardoche! No, the tragedy.
Not the queen. Oh my gosh.
Benji is smiling. Sardoche is melting. He is melting. Oh no.
Sardoche played a great game. And that's so frustrating in chess. You play a fantastic game. He was playing so well. And on one turn, doesn't see the queen on the opposite side of the board. Full board awareness, needs to see these things. And unfortunately for Sardoche, he loses queen.
He is laughing at himself. At least he's not crying.
Well, it's a Botez gambit for the ages. And Benjyfishy wins the group. He played a great match by Benji, but did get the benefit of that blunder there. Both of these players look like serious contenders, and Benjyfishy wins the group 2-0 in this match. And we are back with both players. Benjyfishy wins 2-0 over Sardoche. Both of you played amazingly well. I have to say that. I think this was the closest match and the best played match of the entire event. So Benji, I want to start with you. Can you just tell everybody what you've been doing, how much you've been practicing, and it is clearly paying off?
Yeah, I've been practicing as much as I can. I've got like Fortnite tournaments, but whenever I have spare time, I just really enjoy playing. It's just a nice hobby of mine that I just really enjoy, and I'm a competitive guy, so I want to get as good as possible at it.
For sure. And Sardoche, what about you? Every time I open Twitch, you're playing chess or studying with a new coach. Seems like you're taking this very seriously, and you did play great chess. Of course, both games ended on what's looked like blunders on your end, but you were really playing well throughout.
Well, I don't know. First of all, it was one of my intense games I played for my whole life, so I wasn't used to be focused for so long in a chess game at first. And then, well, I'm a bit sad because I lost both game because of tactics. I was supposed to be slightly worse than Benji concerning positional stuff and close position, because he used to close the position and I used to open up. I play an open Sicilian. I couldn't play my stuff, and he prepared really well against my London system. So I was a bit confused at first, but I always managed to get out of the close position better, and I get too confident, I guess. So I'm super ashamed actually that I have done this mistake, because I really expected to win with tactic and lose with strategy, and I'm so sad, man. What the fuck?
No, you played amazing, and I know obviously the result stings, but I have to reiterate that time and time again. You really played excellent. Even in this moment, I brought up the board here. You're talking about positional.